All right, welcome everybody. It is Tuesday night and we are ready for some stamping and some card making. So for those of you that tried to get on last week, I was not here. In this town, I live in Farmington, New Mexico, and we have a really big event called the Connie Mack World Series. It is a baseball tournament and we have kids that come in from all over the United States. And then one thing that our town does is that we have host families, which I was one of them, and we take in these boys and we take care of them and feed them and run them around to all of their games and all of the events that they have. So last week I was hauling 3 boys around from Texas, the Dallas Tigers, and so had tons of fun with them, but now I'm back. So we're back up and ready to do some card making tonight. If you're new to my channel, my name is Julie Brown. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm going to go over some what I call housekeeping first, and then we're going to go over a few announcements from Stampin' Up!, and then we'll get to the cards, because I have 3 cards to make, so I got to get moving. Hey, Susie. Okay, so for those of you that will be placing orders with me this month, the hostess code is right there. It's the August hostess code. And you can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. Email me at juliescreativestampin@gmail.com. And then Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram, hey Mel, is Julie's Creative Stamping. If you want to check out, I usually take the videos that I do here live on Facebook. I upload those on YouTube the same night, and you can check those out at juliebrown.juliescreativestamping. And look at my blog, guys. It is now called juliescreativestamping.com. But I am working on my blog. I'm in a training this week, actually for 8 weeks, to kind of update my blog to make it more like a website. So anyway, if you guys do try to get in there and it's down for a little bit, it's because I'm in there and I am in my training and I'm messing with it. But you can always see all of the cards that I do will be up. I haven't had any in there for a while because I knew I was going to be doing this training, and so I've been kind of waiting. So those will be up later. Oh, hey, Nancy Reynolds, welcome. So anyway, let me just go over a few of the really cool things that's happening right now with Stampin' Up. One of the things is, yay, look at this, guys. Oh, let me move that. So as of today, there are new celebration items that you can qualify for. So if you've spent so much money and you've already gotten everything you want out of your little celebration catalog, here's all the new things. And so it's the Timber 3D embossing folder. So anything that's in gold is if you spend $50 or more. Anything that is in this green is $100 or more. But you can just kind of go through here, and there's silver and foil specialty paper for $50. There's the gingham embossing folder for $50. The dots and spots die is $100. The daffodil dies is $100. The Seashells 3D embossing folder is free with a $50 purchase. The craft gift boxes. The aspen tree dies is free with a $100 purchase. And the brushed metallic cardstock is free with $50. So that's really exciting that we have new products available. So everybody give a big whoop whoop, because more reasons to shop this month, right? And the next thing that we have, and I'm going to kind of put this on me because I was trying to download this and I couldn't get it downloaded. But for any of you that are not in the state of New Mexico, if you want to know your back to school tax holiday information, if you will put a little message with how I can contact you, I will be happy to download it and send it to you. So what's happening here in New Mexico and across the United States is the back to school tax holiday. Well, some of the Stampin' Up! Stuff does qualify. And so let me see if I can put this way so you guys can see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very good, but New Mexico's clear over here. And basically it says $30 per item. So what that means is you can spend up to $30 per each of these items and get it for tax free. So basically the things that are covered, and our dates for New Mexico are August 5th through the 7th. And as you can see this cut off, there are more states that aren't listed here. Again, if you're not in New Mexico and you would like that information, let me know and I'll get that to you. But basically it's the Stampin' seals, their refills, the Stampin' dimensionals, the mini Stampin' dimensionals, the black Stampin' dimensionals, the foam adhesive strips, foam adhesive sheets, mini glue dots, the multi-purpose liquid glue, the grid paper, the small grid paper, paper snips, tear and tape adhesive, fine tip glue pen, the in color marker sets, and also all of our colored family sets. So the neutral Stampin' Right markers, the brights. In New Mexico, you'll see the mini Marvelous markers down here. In New Mexico, they are not okaying that to be tax-free. So if you want the markers, you can just buy them in their separate families. Watercolor pencils, blender pens, the combo Stampin' blends, the basic black Stampin' Right marker, and that is it. So it has the cost here. Again, if you guys want a copy of this, let me know and I'll get that over to you. But this is what is considered tax-free, August 5th, and it goes from midnight to midnight, August 5th through August 7th. So just so you guys know. All right, so I've got all of that covered. Yay! So what are we working on today? This is the Rustic Harvest Suite. Now I know I did a bunch of like Christmas in July, and I kind of wanted to get off Christmas for a little bit so that those of you coming to my Christmas card class will have some surprises. So I wanted to work on the Rustic Harvest Suite today. And I want to kind of let you guys, if you're new to Stampin' Up, the way that Stampin' Up does this, it gets a little confusing because we have the Rustic Harvest Suite, and that includes everything that you see here. Stampin' Up did that because we had a lot of customers that said, man, I love the paper, I love the embellishments, I love the dies, I love everything that goes with this, basically the stamp set and the dies. But before we used to have to enter like every single item number. And so Stampin' Up tried to make it easier by putting it in a suite and saying, if you want everything in the suite, put this number in. Now, part of this suite is the Hello Harvest bundle, and that includes the stamp set and the dies. Again, instead of having to put their own individual numbers in here, you can put one number, get both. You do get a 10% discount if you buy the bundle, and that does include inside the suite, there is that 10% discount. Hey, Shanine, welcome, welcome. So let's just go through really quick what all is in this suite, because this is a pretty cool suite. So first off, we have been asking for it, and Stampin' Up has given it to us. We now have our little tidy trays with our embossing buddies. Yes, they are back. And then we also have these really cool little tweezers and a little brush to do some embossing. And I'm going to show you how this works tonight. So that is part of the suite. So if you buy the suite, that comes with it. Then, of course, you get the stamp set and the dies. And then this particular suite also comes with 12 by 12 basic black cardstock. Again, part of the suite. Now, you can buy all of these things separate. And just so, let me bring this in just so you guys know. If you want to look at it in your catalog, it is on page 48 and 49 of the catalog. That shows, here's the Rustic Harvest Suite, and then here's that bundle right there that is part of the suite. All right, so let me finish with what's in the suite. So it has these fun little leaves. This is all one package. It has these gems and the leaves all together. Obviously, this is open because I'm using this tonight. And then let's go through the designer series paper. You're going to get 2 of each of these designs, but I usually put front and back. I didn't do that tonight. So there's this piece here. And then the back of that looks like that. And then we have the green with the little swirls. And the back of that is a really fun, like, diagonal, triangle, whatever you call that. Diamond. What was I thinking? Okay, and then we've got this Cajun Craze and these beautiful black leaves. I really like this paper. And then this one with all the gourds on it. And then we have the black and white on the other side. And then we've got this really pretty crushed curry here. And again, with a black on, and I don't know if you guys can see that. That's got a really pretty pattern on it. And then we've got the pumpkin paper, and the back of that is black. So all the backs are like the blacks, as you can see. And then all the fronts have all the color. All right, so that is that sweet. So let's get started because I've got a few cards to make tonight. All right, so for this first card, what I wanted to do is just kind of show you, you guys know I like to do matting. And so for this first card, we're gonna just mat a few things together, and it actually goes together pretty darn quick. We are gonna do some embossing because, you know, it does come with that whole embossing tray, right? So we're gonna be using that. And I did kind of pre-cut some dies and stuff, so but let me get most of this put together and then we'll work on the embossing part of it. So I'm basically just going to come in with this designer series paper, and I apologize, my husband has let the dogs out. So if you see a dog's head pop up or you see my camera shake, it's because my puppies are running amok. All right, so we're just going to lay this on here like so. Oh, you guys probably can't see that, but I can see I didn't quite get the, whoopsie, get the adhesive on that side over there. All right, so we're going to get that down. And then I'm going to come in, and what I did is I cut mats out of Basic Black and Mary Merlot. We're going to use this, we're going to stamp on this little leaf. So basically I'm just going to take a couple of these and we're going to put them on the black mats, and then we're going to take one of them and put it on the Mary Merlot mat. I just think it kind of helps things pop a little bit when you mat things, and so this is just kind of a technique that we sometimes forget about, because, you know, we have so many tools and fun stuff, but just simply taking your designer series paper and matting it actually makes it pop really good. All right, and then this last one, we're gonna mat this one as well. And yes, I'm gonna go through the whole embossing procedure just because we have our fun, I gotta play with my fun tray, right? All right. So there's that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this one with the butterfly on it, and I'm going to put that in the top left of this card. And remember, you guys are welcome to make comments. Let me know you're here. Oh yeah, Nancy, I love this DSP too. It's so pretty. So DSP, by the way, if you're new to Stampin' Up, that is what we say, DSP. We shorten designer series paper to DSP. So if you ever see anybody from Stampin' Up talking about DSP, they are talking about designer series paper. And that is this really pretty paper, the paper I just showed you. Okay, so we're going to take this one and put this in the corner down here. And then what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to bring in some dimensionals and bring in my Take Your Pick tool. And so I'm going to pop this up, but as you can see, two of my corners actually fit on this. So I only need to put dimensionals in this corner and this corner, because you don't want to put dimensionals where you've already kind of got some height to it, because all that does is make it sit uneven. But what I'm going to do in these other two corners is I'm going to bring in some of my liquid glue and just put a little bit of the liquid glue in here, just to give it a little extra holding power. And then let's see if I can get this on here straight. That's always an issue with me. I think I have it a little lower than I wanted. So let's bring that up a little bit. I definitely don't want to cover the butterfly. Okay, so far we've got this. Oh, and I needed to put that leaf in first. So let's go ahead and stamp this leaf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with some Mary Merlot. And I actually got this idea from the catalog to stamp on the leaf. And I just thought it was a super cute idea. So I'm just going to come in and use this little swirl. And we're just going to stamp on this leaf. I don't know if I can get one in there. I'm going to just do that one really light. There we go. You know what? I don't like that, so I'm turning it over. I think, you know what? I figured out what happened. Hold on one second. I was like, why am I having so much trouble stamping this? And it's because this somehow moved and it's not in the center. And it was making me like all messed up. All right. So let's try that again. So I want to go there. Oh, you know what? I need some scrap paper so I can stamp off this leaf. Okay, well, let me just bring in this scrap paper. There we go. All right. So now I can actually kind of stamp off this side over here. I was trying to be good and stay inside that leaf because I didn't have a piece of scrap paper here, but I ended up not liking that. So I want to make sure I can stamp off because I like the look of this better. So much better, like that much better. So let me bring that closer so you can see it. So how fun is that, right? So let me clean that stamp off. And then what we're going to do is, again, I wanted this to be kind of up underneath here and up underneath there. So no big deal. If you're very careful, you can always pull that back up. And then I'm going to kind of come in with this little tool that I've got. This is actually from my Cricut machine. And I just kind of lifted that so that I'll be able to stick this leaf behind there with some liquid glue. I always seem to do things in the wrong order. I think I've got everything figured out. And then I start doing it and I'm like, oopsie. I needed to put that on there first. Okay, there we go. So I just kind of wanted that leaf like so to be kind of sticking out underneath there. But see how easy that was to fix? Very nice. Hey, Janet. Welcome, welcome. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do some embossing. And it does get a little bit loud, but I'm going to use my new embossing buddy. You guys have heard me talk about this, and Stampin' Up! Has not had them available, so I'm so excited. What this does, this embossing buddy puts like a little powdery essence on here. And what that does is when we put the embossing powder on there, it stops the embossing powder is only going to stick to this Versamark. So I'm going to ink up my sentiment with Versamark, and then I'm going to turn this over and stamp it. And I know you guys can't see that. Let me see if I can get it close. There, you can kind of see how, you can kind of see it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my little tidy tray. That's what I used to call them because that's what I know them as. Now we're going to bring in our white embossing powder. And then I don't have to worry about just pouring this everywhere because I rubbed it with my embossing buddy. And do you see how cool that is? How it stops it from going anywhere but on what we stamped. So that is the cool thing about embossing buddies. And then obviously I will just, this is really cool because this turns off. That is so some of the ones I have, there's like a little thing that sticks in here, really hard to get out. This is super cool because you just screw it on and take it off. So I'm going to get this out of my way so I don't blow that powder everywhere. And so if you should happen to get any, that's what this brush is for. So if you should get any powder where you don't want it, you can take that brush and brush it off. So now get ready. It's going to be a little noisy. I'm going to start my heat tool. And I always let my heat tool heat up for just a quick second because it just seems to emboss better. And I'll try to get this close so you can see the magic happen. So then I'm just going to bring in my tool. And we are just going to, I don't know if you guys can see it changing. It changes from like a matte color to shiny. And that's how you know, and I gotta switch this because it does get a little warm. That's how you know that all of your embossing powder has been heat embossed. All right, so we are good. So then that's what it ends up looking like once it's embossed. Pretty. All right, so now I'm going to bring in the die cut machine, and we are going to cut this out. I should have had my little one over here, but I'm going to be using an embossing folder a little bit later tonight, so I decided I needed my big one. So I did want to show you these dies. These dies are really cool because if you'll notice, 3 of these have like a pattern on them, and I'm going to show you that later. And then these are standalone dies because they're just going to cut out some little swirly things. And then we have all of these, so it has the pumpkin, the little sunflower, the leaf. This is the bunch of flowers that's in the stamp set, and then of course the banner, which is what we're going to be working with right now. So I'm just going to set this on here. And you guys know I use these Post-it note thingamabobbers. I just kind of keep them attached to my Stampin' cut machine. And we're just going to run that through. And bring that back. Let me get rid of this real quick. Ooh. All right, let me just push that out. And then of course I just grab those, and as they become non-sticky, and then you can always use this, like you could put this on a card like so, and then stamp a little sentiment on the inside. So you can keep those if you want to. That's for all of you frugal people that are on here with me. Okay, so now this is going to go down here, and again, I kind of lay it down to see. So I'm going to need a Stampin' Dimensional behind here and behind here, but on the top of this, I'm just going to need some liquid glue. And that's kind of why I always try to like set it down before I glue it, just to kind of see where I need things to go. It just kind of helps me. And so I just need a little bit, not a lot, just right there. And then this is going to just go across this bottom edge like so. If I can get it straight. I usually try not to push down real hard right at the beginning, because I try to give myself a little leeway to make sure I'm getting it straight before I then push it down into place. All right, so then I'm going to bring in some of this Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and it has all of these different colors in it, and I'm going to use the white, and I'm going to show you guys again how to use my bow maker. My bow maker is things I give out to customers the first time they purchase something from me. So this is my little bow maker. And so because I want a double bow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, and I'm working on these 2 legs here. And so I'm going to wrap it around once, wrap it around twice. And then I'm going to pull this out like so, and we're going to trim that. And then this goes up through the top and around the bottom, and then we're going to bring this little tail from that side, and we're just going to tie this. And this makes a perfect bow every single time. But see how I made this a double bow. Can you guys see that? So that's my little double bow, and I want that to go, ooh, I'm almost out of mini glue dots here. So it's actually going to go here, but this is this mini glue dot is a little bit bigger than I want. So I'm just going to kind of fold it in half, and then I'm going to just stick it right over that little hole. All right, and then I'm just going to stick that down like so, and then I'm going to trim my bow. And then we're going to come in with some of these gems that is part of this leaf label and amber gem combo. I really love these amber gems. I'm like falling in love with them. So we're just going to again use the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool, and then we're just going to start throwing a few of these on here. Then we'll put another big one up there and another small one down there. All right, now for the inside. So I hope you guys are liking this. Oh, you're welcome for showing you the bow. All right, so I wanted this stamp set has like maybe 3 sentiments or 4, but I wanted this to be wishing you the loveliest days, and I wanted a happy birthday one. So I went through my stash and I found, I thought I had it here, maybe I don't. Well, I don't remember which one I use now. Huh. Okay, but I've got this one here. Let me see how big this one is. I'm just looking to see how big the happy birthday is. I think this one is a good. Huh, what'd I do with the set that I was using for this? Oh, well. I'm telling you, sometimes I think I have everything under control, and then I don't. Okay, so I think we'll go with the Peaceful Moments Happy Birthday. That's kind of my go-to. So we'll put that one in here. But I think I used Artistically Inked, and I think I had it here because I still have the thanks that I'm going to use on the other card. But this one, we'll just go ahead and use this one because I have it here. And we're just going to go in with basic black. Isn't that crazy when you get things all set up and you think you're perfectly ready to go, and then something always comes up missing? Oh, Shanine, I'm so glad you like the suite. Oh, Nancy, I'm glad I could give you some ideas for the leaves. Wait, I've got some more ideas tonight. So we're doing 3 cards tonight. So we're just going to put that happy birthday right there. And then we're going to come in with the Merry Merlot again, and with that little flourish. And we're just going to do one there, and one there. And then I got to clean those up in just a hot second. So let me clean those really quick using my Simple Chamois. And I know you guys, I haven't said it in a long time, but this comes really pretty purple, and then you start to use it. And all you have to do to clean it is just rinse it off with water. It's one of the best, like, inventions ever. All right, and then we're just gonna take this. And we are going to stick that on the inside of this card, and card number 1 is going to be finished. All right, what do you guys think? So there's our card. Really pretty. Aren't those gems beautiful? And isn't this paper's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So this says, wishing you the loveliest of days. Happy birthday. So I just kind of also wanted to show you guys, it doesn't have to be about autumn stuff. It doesn't have to be, you know, just because we see things that look more autumn colors, look how beautiful they are when you turn them into a card that's like for a birthday. All right, card 1 done. Okay, so card number 2. Let's see which one I want to do. I think I'll do this one because it's pretty quick. And then the last one is going to be kind of a die showcase. So the last one I'm going to kind of show off the dies in this suite. I'm kind of showing off the dies the whole way through. So for this one, I'm going to take some Mossy Meadow, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to actually use the black side this time. But before I stick it on here, I also cut a little strip of one of the other Designer Series papers with the pumpkin. So I'm just going to adhere these two together. Then I am going to bring in the mini catalog. It's not part of this suite, but it matches it really cool. I'm going to bring in some washi tape because we have some washi tape in our mini catalog. It's kind of with the Halloween stuff. But I just want to show you how to use the washi tape. So it comes, this is called, oops, sorry. This is called Glitter Washi 4-pack, and it comes in these really pretty, you can see how kind of Halloweenish, right? But it actually, this is like the Cajun Craze color, so I thought that would look perfect on here. Again, this is a good reason why, you know, you guys don't just buy things and think just use it with the stuff it comes with. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to run it just to the right. I'm going to keep it flush right up against that strip. And you just kind of pull that washi tape and it sticks. And then you can just trim it on the edge. Some people like to fold it over. I just trim it. And then I need to trim this end. But I want to show you how pretty, look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous washi tape? Glitter, glitter, fun, fun. Sorry, my lights don't seem to be very bright tonight. Okay, so then I'm just going to simply take this and we're going to stick this. And that was the other side of that designer series paper. So this is just going to go to the front of this. But see how fun that washi tape just adds a extra little bling to this. Okay. So then I'm going to come in and we are going to mat this piece of white to this Mossy Meadow. And then before I put it on, we're going to stamp on it. So we're going to get this on here. Oh, good. Good. Oh, Mel, I'm glad you like that card. So, Shanine, you ordered the washi tape and now you're excited to use it. Yay! I'm glad I decided to use it tonight so that you can, it gets you excited and excited for your order that's coming in, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take, oh, it's supposed to be over here somewhere. Ugh, I hate it when I lose things. Well, my goodness, I've lost an entire stamp. This is not good in my house because that means my puppies could have grabbed it off my table. Well, shoot. There's a stamp that says, "You are such a blessing." And it was on a block sitting here on my desk. And it is now missing in action. So you know what? I'm going to grab another one of those stamp sets really quick just to make sure that I didn't put it in the wrong one. So bear with me one hot second. And let me grab that. Yep, nope, it's not in that one. Oh, this is not good, people. Well, I'm not going to stamp that. I'll stamp it later. But basically, I would be stamping this. "You are such a blessing" right there. I have puppies that are, I got them from a friend, and they're mixed breed puppies, and they're hot messes right now. Everybody that's been on with me for a while. So Nancy, they're like a Dachshund and a Border Collie cross, and one looks like a Dachshund, and the other one looks like a Border Collie. I have a brother and a sister pair. And, oh my gosh, you know what? I wonder if that stamp set fell in my trash. I do that a lot. Oh, guess what? Ta-da! I found it. It was in my trash. Oh my gosh. I need to move my trash. I have it right to my right of me, and I constantly do that. I constantly throw stuff away that I don't mean to. Well, I'm glad I found it. Glad I thought about that. So yeah, so the puppies, they're about 8 months old, and they're tearing up my house. But they've been quite a blessing to me. Okay, so again, I'm going to use my grid paper to get my paper lined up straight. And then I'm going to come up here and type, "You are such a," or type, oh my gosh, stamp. That'd be good if I could type that, right? All right, you are such a blessing. Clean that off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stick this on the card front, and then I'm going to build on top of this. I've already stamped and colored with some blends, but I am going to cut them out. I'm going to show you the dies and show you how they cut out. So we're going to take this, and yes, we're covering up some of that washi tape, sadness. And I do kind of eyeball things, but if you want to measure it, you can measure it to get it straight. So I brought in this piece of basic white, and as you can see, I stamped and colored in this and the pumpkin. And then what I did with this stamp was I stamped it up in Mossy Meadow, and I stamped it, and then I stamped it again right away to get the 2 different shades of that green. Really good way if you have a budget and you can't get all the colors. That is a really good way to get different shades of greens, reds. You know, you just stamp full ink and then stamp off. All right, so let's bring in this die cut machine. And I think I know I can cut 3 of them at the same time. And then I'll have to go back and cut that last little leaf. So we're gonna line up our pumpkin. And get that on there. Actually, I don't want to do that because I'm actually going to tear this paper in half. These are my little Post-it note rolls. So let's do it like that. And then I'm going to bring in this other die that cuts out this bunch of flowers. And we're going to get this lined up and hold that in place. And then we have the die for the leaves, and we just have 1 die, so we'll be cutting 1 out, and then we'll go back and cut the other one out. All right, and now we're just going to cover that. Susie, you lost a punch to your trash can earlier. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, a lot of celebrations are gone, but you might have missed earlier, Shanine. There are new celebration items as of today. So I will get you that information as soon as I can, but there are new celebration items that you can get as of today. And probably maybe at the end, if I remember, I will go back over that again. Whoops, what am I doing? Oh, I need to put this one back down there. And let me pull that off and get that one off. Yeah, so cool news. Yeah, that's what happens with celebration, guys. You know, you've got to kind of, when you see it and you want it, you get the orders placed and then get it. But again, if you guys let me know, I do have a few extras. So if there was something you were really, really wanting and I happen to have an extra one, let me know. And I will be more than happy to trade you out for what you want. But there are some new things, so exciting. Did I cut my 3rd one? Okay. I was talking and I was like, did I cut that out? So I do want to show you this because this happens sometimes. So I didn't quite get this lined up perfect, and there's a little bit more white on this side. And so I'm just going to take my scissors. You know, when I get to talking, I really don't pay attention to lining up, but I just want to show you guys how you can fix that. So you can come in if you've got too much white and just cut that off like so. All right, so now let's get this put together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this on here, and we're going to be using some liquid glue to get all of this on, or at least a couple of these pieces on. And I want to leave a little bit of space at the bottom because I'm going to be wrapping that flower, that like flower bundle around this. I'm also going to be coming in, so I kind of want to, well, I know where this one goes, so I'm going to come in with the lighter leaf. Again, just a little bit of liquid glue. You guys can see I do not use a ton of the liquid glue. And I'm just going to line that up about right there. And then I need dimensionals for this. And so we're just going to put a few dimensionals kind of in these, well, if I can pick up the dimensional, maybe. In these little areas right here. Mel, you lost 2 heart stamps a few weeks ago and you still haven't found them. Check your trash if you haven't emptied your trash yet, because I actually ended up losing some tweezers one time. I know that's what I did, is I threw them in my trash. And it's just because my trash is to my right and I just happen to always like set things over there, and I obviously missed my desk and into the trash they went. So that's a bummer when that happens, right? Alrighty. So then I'm gonna kind of, I don't want to set this down yet because I want to kind of figure out where I need this leaf. Yeah, just like right there. So this leaf is going to kind of go right like that. Oh, the trash was the first place you looked. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You might check your other stamp cases, because I have also put the wrong stamps back into the wrong case. I've done that before too. So then I'm just going to come in with this really fun bunch of flowers, and we're going to set that like so. And then I am going to come in with, oh my gosh, and again, it was just sitting here. Oh my criminy, tonight, what is up with me? I cannot find any of my stuff. Oh, there it is. It's because I shoved it behind something else. So I'm going to come in with some linen thread. And again, we're going to double up on the ribbon. So let's look at doing this again. So we're going to do the exact same thing. So I always start on this. Now, if I'm making a big bow, I would be wrapping it like here and going through this center. But I'm working on this little one because I'm making little bows right now. So I'm just going to wrap that around twice and then trim it. And then I'm going to feed that through this top right above where I wrapped. I'm going to bring it around the bottom, pull in this other tail, and tie the knot. And you do want to kind of pull that knot fairly tight so that it stays, because it can come undone. And then you just pull that off. And again, because it's a double bow, I can kind of play with it a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, because when you're working with the linen thread with these mini glue dots, they're a little big. And so I just want to kind of fold that over so it's like half the mini glue dot. And then I'm going to stick that down and come in and stick that on there. And we're going to trim and trim. Whoops, I didn't get all of that. Whoops, now it's too short. Oh, here we go. I hate it when I start doing that. Have you ever guys done that where you can't get them straight and then you just keep trimming until you have no tails left? I do that a lot. Oh, so Shanine, you bent the embossing folder. Well, I'm going to emboss something and I'll show you. You got to always make sure that, so if this is your embossing folder, so let me just go over that. So here's your embossing folder and it opens like this. When you put it in your machine, you always want where it closes, this hinge, that needs to be the first thing that loads into your machine. And yeah, because unfortunately you can mess them up if you don't put them in correctly. All right, so to finish the front of this card, I'm gonna play with my gems again that I'm absolutely in love with. And we're just gonna put, oops, 1, 2, and 3 on that one. And then for the inside of this one, I am going to bring in the little tiny, and you guys are going to have to watch me color really quick. I forgot to do this ahead of time. So I'm going to come in with the little like sunflower. Oh, I already have it on a, never mind. I already have it on a block. And we're going to come in with black memento, but I'll show you how easy it is to color this in. Okay, and I'm just gonna put 3 of them in this corner down here. Oh, messed it up. Turn it over. I'm trying to go too fast here. So all of us have a tendency to either lean more to the left than we do to the right. So when you're stamping, it's so important to make sure you go straight down and straight back up, which I did not do just a second ago. But it's really important to do that or you get that little image. That's also if you're pushing too hard on your, if you push too hard on the inking it up. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna come in with Daffodil Delight, and I just take the dark and I kind of color in the, this is my one. I needed to throw that one away earlier because it was running out. And then I'm gonna come in with the light and just blend that in, just so it gives it a little bit of an offset color. And then do it again on each of these flowers. And I can even actually go ahead and get these all colored in. Because I'm working with a really small space, it's okay to, you know, go ahead and color these other leaves in. Usually if I'm doing bigger spaces, I work a little bit at a time, just so that it doesn't, the blend, the alcohol doesn't like dry out and make it harder to blend. But because I'm just working with some little areas there. And then what I did for the center is I brought in this SU100. This is one of those neutrals. And I brought this in because it's kind of the closest to early espresso that we have. And I'm just gonna do the inside. And that's what I did here as well on this. All right, and then I'm just gonna come in with the thanks. This thanks is from the, remember this one? Artistically Inked. The thanks, and that was the happy birthday I wanted to use earlier, but I didn't. And again, we're just gonna come in with our basic black. I think I need to re-ink my black. I'm noticing that it's not getting a very even coloration. So we're just gonna go up here, do thanks. So again, we're using a harvest set that we think about being grateful, which that's great, you can do that, right? But so we've done a birthday card and we've done a thank you card. Now I did have to bring in some other sentiments to do that, but again, as you guys know, that's why I like sentiment stamp sets, right? So that I always have what I need if the set that I'm working with doesn't particularly have what I need, or if I want to turn it into something else. All right, so what do you guys think of this card? Ta-da! Number 2, all finished. So you are such a blessing, and then thanks. All right, one more card, and then we are done for the night. So this card, we are going to do some fun little stuff with. So I'm actually the first thing I'm gonna do, let me get all my parts and pieces here. The first thing that I'm going to do is, I did a lot of the die cutting ahead of time. So I stamped these leaves and that banner, but I still need, there's a couple other die cuts that I need to do. But before I do that, I decided to use this Fern 3D embossing folder. And I'm gonna take one of our leaves. All right, and then I'm just gonna stick it in this embossing folder, and we're gonna actually emboss the leaf to give it a little bit more texture. So let's do that. And remember, when we're working with our 3D embossing folders, we need to have just plate number 1. And your embossing folder with your paper inside of it. And then the number 4. This is the number 4 plate. So we're just going to lay that in there. And we're gonna roll that through. Right, I'm gonna leave this here because I have some stuff to cut out, but I wanna show you how cool that looks. So then I took that leaf and embossed it. How fun is that? And now we're gonna bring our other plates back and we're gonna cut out these standalone dies. So I had another little piece of white here somewhere. Let me see what I did with it. Oh, there it is. All right, I'm gonna try to get all my little pieces on here. All right, so we're gonna be cutting out these standalone. These are the ones that have kind of it's got like an embossing on it. And then I'm gonna cut out these little like swirly, twirly things. One of these days I'm gonna know what to call these little, I wanna say sprigs, but I don't think they're sprigs. Maybe they are sprigs. Yeah, the fall colors are fun, aren't they? Even though I'm not quite ready for fall. So we're just gonna run this through. Woo, my dies are coming loose. All right. So we're just gonna pull all these out now. I'm trying to put my dies back on my little magnetic thing just so I don't lose them, because as we've all been talking tonight about losing stuff, really easy to lose stuff. Alrighty. So thanks for sticking with me as I get through all 3 of these cards tonight. I try not to be on here for too long. I try to keep it down to about an hour, but it looks like we're gonna run a little bit over. Okay, so let me see if I can get that close. Can you guys see the pattern that it embossed on there? Isn't that pretty? So it embossed that pattern on there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some liquid glue and we're gonna, this is a pumpkin. So we're gonna build this pumpkin. I just kind of wanted to show you everything that was possible with this set tonight. So we're just gonna stick that skinny one in the middle, and then it also embossed, I don't know if you can see that. That's gonna be a little harder to see. Let's see. Can you see the embossing on that stem? So it also embossed the stem. And so I'm actually gonna be putting some glue like so, because we're gonna be adding the stem and those little trellis things. So there's my stem. And then I'm going to, come on. It's like none of this stuff wants to come off my table tonight. And hopefully before this the glue dries, I'm gonna put one of those there. And I'll worry about getting those little things poked out in just a second. Oh, it dried. I was not fast enough. So I want to put a little bit more there, a little bit more there. And we're going to take these little trellises. I don't know, what do you guys call these? Anyone have ideas? What do we call these? I know that when I see these things growing in my garden, they're like the, the little vines that come up, and they can take off. I know, like with strawberry plants, they take off, and you have to kind of trim them if you want your strawberries to grow, because the strawberries will keep kind of taking off and not really growing. Okay, so then I've built my little pumpkin. And then I think I can get this out of the way because I'm not going to be stamping, and then you can see like colors and stuff a little bit better. All right, so let's bring in our card base and let's start building this one. So I just took, again, I'm matting. And again, I always want to point out to you guys, because I'm really only using the outside edge of this, A lot of times what I will do is I'll come in with my stitched rectangle dies and I'll cut out the center of this just so that I'm not wasting paper. So you can come in with like a stitched rectangle die and you can cut out this center because I'm going to be covering it with another paper. Yeah, they do look like the ones on Cinderella's coach. I know, but I just can't think of what they're called. It's going to bug me. When we get off, I'm going to have to Google it. Yeah. I'm just going to have to because I got to know. And what I liked about this paper, the reason I chose this paper is because it has those little like trellises, that design on the paper. So I thought that was kind of fun. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to take this leaf that I embossed, and it's going to be up here in this corner. And again, I always like to use liquid glue when I have embossing because it kind of gets down into all the little edges. But I want to keep this on the designer series paper, so I'm going to pull that right there. Then we're going to bring our little pumpkin in. Oh, I need to get that little piece out. Has anyone figured out the name of these things yet? Or nobody else cares? That could be a possibility. All right, so then we're going to take this one, and I want it to the bottom of the designer series paper. And we're going to do it so it overlaps that leaf. And then we're going to bring this in, our little label. So I did this in crumb cake ahead of time. And we're going to be popping this up. But before I do that, again, I'm going to do my dry run. And I'm going to bring in these leaves that I stamped and die cut earlier. And so I want that to go about right there. That one kind of sets where everything else goes. And then we're going to come in with the 2 Mary Merlot leaves. And these are going to be a little bit lower, still on the designer series paper. The little curly cues, yeah, that's curly cues. That's a good thing. I think, thank you, Nancy. I think I'll start calling them curly cues because I don't know what they're called. Where's all my gardeners? All right, so now I'm going to take, oh my goodness, come on. I'm going to take your pick tool. We're just going to grab these off and just, I think I'm just going to try to put like 4 here. Don't get overzealous. Again, like I've told you, if you are going to be, you know, putting this through the mail, you might want to fill in with a little more because it has to go through that roller at the post office. And that has a tendency to push everything down. So you know, if you don't want it to like go flat, you might want to put some extra. All right, so then I'm going to bring in, oh my goodness, I'm going to bring in that Baker's Twine Essential Pack again, and I'm going to use this. I think this is either crumb cake or soft sand. And I'm just going to do a single bow this time. You guys should know how to tie these bows by the end of the night, for those of you that, yeah, I agree, Nancy. I think they are a part of the vine. I just don't know. I just think they have, maybe that's what it is. They're just curly Q vines. That'll be my new name for them. Curly Q vines. I like that name, regardless of what they're really called. Because I'll look it up and then I won't remember anyway. So, alrighty, so let's tie this knot. Pull this off of here. Yeah, I don't know if I would do as many bows if I didn't have my little bow maker because I'm so bad. Oh, and we're out. All right, let me grab. But never fail, I have more at hand. So again, I'm going to fold this in half. And we're gonna stick that up here on the leaf. I don't know which side was my back now because I laid it down. And then we're gonna stick our little bow right there. And again, we're gonna trim our bow. Whew. I'm getting all heated up. So my power went out today. I almost didn't think I was gonna get to do this tonight because I was sitting here in the dark up for, you know, up until about 5 o'clock tonight. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. And so, yeah, I was getting a little worried as to whether or not I would actually get to go live tonight because I thought, great, power's out. I wasn't on last week because I was hauling boys around. And I thought, oh, my crew's going to be upset because no more stamping. Alrighty, so I just added some of the basic pearls. And then for the inside, gotta bring that paper back. So for the inside, I'm just gonna go down here and I'm gonna come in with that stamp, that leaf stamp. And I'm gonna just kind of mimic the front of this card on the inside. So I'm gonna do the crumb cake first, mainly because it's the lightest one. And we're just gonna put it in that corner like so. Let me clean that off. And then we're going to come in with Mary Merlot. So I hope you guys are liking these cards. I just really wanted to kind of sit and play and show you the potential with all of these dies that are in here. I've tried to make some cards tonight that kind of uses everything that's in the suite. Okay, and then we're going to just do that in that corner down there like so. Oh, if you guys could see the behind the scenes, I'm gonna have to do that one time, right? Do a video of Julie behind the scenes while what does her desk look like that you guys can't see? It's a hot mess. All right, and so let's see, what did I want to put on the inside of this one? Was it another? Yeah, it was another happy birthday. And it was actually the happy birthday that I pulled out from the Peaceful Moments. And we're just going to do crumb cake here. And we're just going to stick that up there. And clean this off. And then I know you guys can't see it, but I got a little mark right there. So really easy to fix. I don't mind when I make mistakes because then I can show you guys how to fix things. So because, you know, you get stuff on your hands and you might accidentally touch. So then I'm just going to come in with another leaf at the top. And that covers my little mess up right there. Tendrils. Oh, thank you, Susie. Tendrils. They're called tendrils. I kind of like curly Q vines better. I think we need to talk to Siri. You look that up on Siri and tell her that we have a new name for them, right? Curly Q tendrils. All right. So then we're just going to finish up the inside of this card and we are done with 3 cards tonight, ladies. So tell me what you're thinking of this suite. First, I want to know, did you like it when you looked at it in the catalog? Yes or no? And if you didn't like it, do you like it better now? I'm not asking will you buy it now, but do you like it better now? Because sometimes I think it's good to see the potential of all of these suites. Because I think sometimes it's really hard to really know what you can do with things just by looking at the catalog. I mean, although our Stampin' Up! Catalogs are absolutely amazing, don't get me wrong, I think they do a great job in the catalog showing them off. But sometimes you just can't see. Okay, so there's card number 3. Let me grab card number 2 and card number 1. What do we think? Yes, do we like them? Whoop, whoop. All right, so that is the Rustic Harvest Suite. And the bundle is the Hello Harvest bundle, and that is the stamp set and the dies. So that's everything that you need in that Rustic Harvest Suite to make these cards. And I did bring in, like I said, I brought in a couple other sentiment sets. Okay, so Susie, you were meh, but you love what I did with it. Okay, great. And you love them all, Mel. Okay, yeah, so really fun colors. Kind of got out of, well, I do kind of like the earth tone colors, so I can't lie. I did kind of like this one. But I really wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And so I'm really loving that there's so much diversity in this particular suite. So, okay, so really quick for those of you that missed it to begin with, this is the new celebration stuff. So look at all of the new things that are available. So everything that's in gold is $50. So they've got 1, 2, 3 embossing folders. They've got some silver foil pack that are like different shades of silver. They've got some brush metallic, which is also kind of a shiny paper. And then they have, for the $100, they have the Flowers of Home dies, the Daffodil dies, the Aspen Tree dies, and the Dots and Spots die. So lots more to pick from for celebration. And that started today. All right. Ladies, thank you for joining me. I'm so glad that everybody was in here making so many comments. I love it when you guys comment. And again, guys, I appreciate you guys being here and supporting me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe. I'm trying to really build up my YouTube so that I can actually do live straight onto YouTube. And like I said before, so I'm going to put this up really quick. My blog is now called Julie's Creative Stamping, but I am in an online blogging class. And I'm learning how to do different things in my blog. So if you guys go to my blog and it says it's not available, just wait a little bit, because once I get through this eight-week course, it'll be solid and up all the time. But in the next 8 weeks, it's probably going to be kind of off and on. But I will put all of these cards on my blog. I will have instructions on there. And I know I've done 3 videos where I haven't gotten the instructions on there because I knew I was fixing to build this blog and I didn't know, or I should say change my blog, and I didn't know how it would affect it. So I thought, maybe I'm not going to put it on. But I think I'm going to go ahead and add some of those probably tonight. So you'll see some new ones on there. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I know it's precious. And I am so very grateful that you take the time to be on here with me and to watch what I do. It makes it a lot more fun when I have interactions with all of you. So again, like, subscribe, follow, and everybody have a great week. And I'll see you next week with some other fun cards. Talk to you soon. Bye.